Yes, I'm the influencer boxing guy. I am a part of the circus. I'm the Ringling brother himself. I get it. But I can call a spade a spade. And in the pro boxing scene, this is a joke.
This is Jonathan Agger, fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Wade Plem here in Texas for Jake Paul, Nate Diaz. Another big fight. Wade, why do you think he's decided to fight Nate Diaz and not rematch Tommy?
I don't know. I think this was the plan for them, regardless, they said, of what happened in the Tommy fight. Now, obviously, Jake wanted, I think, the timeline's so jacked up. I think he wanted the rematch, like, right away, or maybe Tommy did, and then they were like, okay, no, we'll wait till February, and then I guess he looked at this and went, okay, I'm going a whole new team, fresh, like, how many, 3 or 4 new guys in camp, and I guess because they wanted to do Nate anyway, and he had just got done, and they maybe thought, maybe we can get some pay-per-view buys, and obviously Nate isn't Tommy. Maybe that's something that they looked at doing, and Tommy, probably because Tommy won the fight, you'd have to think the way they negotiate with Big John that the money was going to be exponentially more to get him. So I don't know, man. I don't know why this is the fight, but I'm glad it is because this is a fun one, man.
Watching True Geordie's breakdown of this, not to say yours isn't good because I saw that as well.
He's a monster, bro. I have actually broke this fight down. The video comes out tonight, so no one's actually seen it yet. But as far as like an OG in the scene that knows he's talking about, Geordie's the man.
Yeah, well, you both collabed at one point. I said you should have done it again.
No, we will. We were supposed to, actually. I was in London last week, and we had tried to do it, but he was getting a new studio set up, and we just couldn't make it work.
Yeah. So he says that basically Nate, power, speed, and accuracy aren't great, and
it's true.
And he feels that Jake just is better in every area. What do you think?
I mean, in those areas, yes, Jake is far better. The wild card and the X factor to the fight is Nate is a fighter, right? So at the end of the day, the accuracy, the power, these are always disadvantages with Nate. Nate's never had a power advantage really on anyone. Never had a speed advantage really on anyone, yet he wins fights. How is that? Cardio? Chin, will. There's got to be some skill in there, right? He's got to be able to take punches and roll with shots a little bit. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Nate Diaz is the best boxer in the world because he's not. And this won't be, in my opinion, the test boxing-wise that Tommy was. But this is a different fight, man. Nate is not going to be a jab move and stick around and stay pretty. It's going to be blood and guts, man, like legitimately. So Jake's ready for war, I assume. Nate is always ready.
If Jake loses the fight, what's the consequence?
This is big. If Jake loses this one, 0 for your last 2, you have no negotiating power for a Tommy rematch. That might not even, it probably doesn't even happen.
Would you have it, but just the split would be way more in Tommy's favor?
That's what I'm saying. At that point, there's no point in doing it because if you can't beat Nate, you're not getting better. Things are progressively getting worse, in my opinion, right? Like, depending on how the loss is. If he gets hit with a flash and all of a sudden, but if he's like, Nate is in the trenches, just body work, flexing on him, and here goes the decision. If Nate wins a decision, it's not good. And then you talk about the KSI fight. Even there, you lose negotiating power a bit. So this is a must-win for Jake.
And then on KSI, Tommy Fury, what do you think of that fight?
I've been telling people I think Tommy's going to win the fight. I don't know why that's a controversial opinion, but I think it's just more because the emotion involved with influencer boxing. But credit to KSI for taking it, man. He did not have to take this fight to get to Jake or anybody else, right? He didn't. So to do it with the sole purpose of going, I'm just better than Jake and I'm going to prove it. Guy's got balls, and you have to respect it because I know that Mams and those guys probably didn't want to take that fight. And I know JJ's mentality is, I don't give a fuck. Give me the fight. And sure enough, they did it for him this time. Fair play.
Last question. The heavyweight champion Tyson Fury is fighting Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia. What was your reaction when you heard that?
It's a joke, man. Like, you can't not say it. And yes, I'm the influencer boxing guy. I am a part of the circus. I'm the Ringling brother himself. I get it. But I can call a spade a spade. And in the pro boxing scene, this is a joke. Now, I will say, I'm an MMA guy. I've met Francis. He almost slung me around like the fucking Hulk. The guy's a big dude, but it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. And I'm happy for Francis. I'm happy he's getting paid, son. And that's the only thing I can really say about it. I'm happy for Francis. I'm glad he got this opportunity and stuck it to the people that said he couldn't. And he's going to get destroyed. That's just it.
I mean, Eddie Hearn was asked and he said, look, Fury's just interested in money at this point. He could have had the other fights. Do you agree with him?
100%. Tyson speaks out on one side of his mouth and then does another thing. He's absolutely interested in money, which is weird because he could have made ridiculous money. We're talking about splitting hairs when he's talking about 80 million versus 70, right? And some people are going to be, that's $10 million. Sure. But Tyson has $10 million. He has $100 million. Tyson is a wealthy man. If it was really about legacy like he always talks about and being the heavyweight champ that is remembered and revered on the likes of Lennox Lewis, then it would have been Usyk. It would have been Joshua. It would have been those guys. But it was a money play, and he got what he wanted.
There you have it. Wade, appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, brother.